The alien ship appeared without warning at the edge of Earth's solar system. It was massive, at least 3 miles long with sharp edges that reflected the distant sunlight. This was the 7th alien species to arrive in Earth's vicinity in the past 10 years. None of the previous visitors had returned home. Commander Ethan Riley stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Vessel Sentinel, his eyes fixed on the giant screen showing the alien craft. His uniform was crisp despite being on duty for 16 hours straight. The moment the sensors had detected the unknown ship, all leaves were canceled, and Earth's defense fleet moved into position. "Any response to our greeting message?" Ethan asked, his voice calm despite the tension in the room. Lieutenant Olivia Patterson shook her head. Her fingers moved quickly across the communications panel. "Nothing, sir. They're receiving but not answering." "They never do at first," Ethan said. "They always think silence makes them seem more powerful." Major Lisa Green entered the bridge, carrying a tablet with preliminary analysis. Her dark hair was pulled back in a tight bun and her expression was serious. She had seen this scenario play out before. "We've identified them as Varaxians," she said, showing Ethan the data. "From what our long-range probes gathered during the Centauri conflict, they've conquered at least 300 worlds in the past century. They're known for their advanced shield technology and plasma weapons." Ethan nodded. "And they have no idea what they're walking into." The bridge crew continued their work with practiced efficiency. They had trained for this, prepared for it. Earth had not always been ready for visitors from the stars, but that had changed after the first invasion. Now humanity was different. Admiral Jack Murphy's face appeared on the secondary screen. He was calling from Earth Defense Headquarters beneath the Rocky Mountains. His weathered face showed the strain of someone who had led humanity through 3 previous alien encounters. "Commander Riley, what's your assessment?" the Admiral asked. "They're following the same pattern as the others, sir," Ethan replied. "Single mothership taking position just beyond Mars orbit. I expect they'll launch smaller vessels soon. They're likely scanning our defenses right now. Or what they can see of them," the Admiral said with a grim smile. After the second invasion, Earth had learned to hide its true military capabilities. "Emergency meeting of the Unified Defense Command in 30 minutes, Admiral Murphy continued. "Keep monitoring them and report any changes immediately." The screen went dark. Ethan turned to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Commander Ben Wilson. "Bring us to combat readiness, but maintain passive scanning only. Let's not show them everything we can do just yet." Across Earth, military installations quietly shifted to high alert. In cities around the world, civilians went about their daily lives, many unaware of the potential threat. After several alien encounters, the world governments had agreed that panic served no purpose. Only if an actual attack was imminent would the public warning systems activate. In her lab beneath Geneva, Dr. Karen Lawson studied data from previous alien encounters. As head of the Alien Technology Integration Division, her job was to understand and adapt foreign technology for human use. Pieces of 6 different alien ships surrounded her team, each being carefully reverse-engineered. Dr. Lawson, her assistant, called out, "Defense Command is requesting the status of the Varaxian shield countermeasures." Karen looked up from her work. "Tell them it's ready. After we analyzed the debris from that scout ship the Arcturus Collective lost near Jupiter last year, we found similarities to what our probes detected from Varaxian technology. Their shield modulation has a pattern we can disrupt. On the Varaxian mothership, Supreme Commander Zex Kaltar watched the holographic projection of the planet Earth. It looked peaceful, primitive even, compared to the worlds they usually conquered. The intelligence provided by the Galactic Council had classified this world as a resource-rich acquisition target with minimal defense capabilities. "Begin the standard conquest protocol," Zex Kaltar ordered. "Jam their communications and prepare. The first wave. Target their largest military installations and governmental centers." Sub-Commander Trev Norrell hesitated before speaking. "Supreme Commander, there is something unusual in our scans. The inhabitants appear to have technology from different star systems. Some of their orbital platforms contain elements similar to Arcturian design." Zex Kaltar dismissed the concern with a wave of his 3-fingered hand. Many primitive species scavenge technology they don't understand. It makes no difference. Our forces have conquered hundreds of worlds. This one will fall like all my others. Little did the Varaxians know that Earth had been expecting them or something like them for years. In a secure conference room deep beneath the surface, the Earth's Unified Defense Command gathered. Representatives from every major military power sat around a circular table, with Admiral Murphy at the head. The Varaxians have arrived as our deep space intelligence network predicted, Murphy said. Based on previous encounters, we can expect them to follow standard invasion protocols. They'll jam communications, then target major military installations with their first wave. General Frank Daniels, head of the North American Defense Zone, leaned forward. Our countermeasures are in place. The underground bases are fully operational, and our orbital platforms are running silent. Colonel Heather Phillips from Special Operations added, "My teams are ready for boarding actions once we disable their smaller ships. The priority is capturing their technology intact this time." From a screen on the wall, Captain Aaron Foster reported from his position near the dark side of the moon. His ship, the Defiant, was Earth's most advanced vessel, incorporating technology from 3 different alien species who had previously attempted invasion. The alien mothership has launched 70 smaller craft, Aaron reported. They're moving into standard attack formation, just like the simulations predicted. Admiral Murphy nodded. "Remember, everyone, this is why we train. This is what we've been preparing for since the first ships arrived 10 years ago." He looked around the table at the determined faces. "Activate Defense Plan Delta. Let's show our visitors why no one returns from attacking Earth." Throughout the solar system, hidden human defenses came to life. Stealth satellites, asteroid bases, and subterranean launchers all activated simultaneously. Earth's true military capacity was finally revealed. On the Sentinel, Commander Ethan Riley received the go-ahead order. "All ships, this is Commander Riley. You have permission to engage according to Defense Plan Delta. Remember your training. Remember what we're fighting for." As the Varaxian ships entered Earth's upper atmosphere, they expected minimal resistance. What they encountered instead was a world prepared for war, a civilization that had faced the stars and refused to fall. The first shots were fired, and the battle for Earth began once more. The Varaxians were about to learn what 6 other species had discovered too late. Humans didn't surrender. They adapted. They learned. And with each invasion, they grew stronger. Supreme Commander Zexa Keltar stared at the holographic battle display with growing rage. Half of his invasion force was already destroyed or disabled. The humans were fighting with weapons and tactics that should have been beyond their capability. Something was very wrong. "Deploy the planet cracker," he ordered suddenly. "Target their largest ocean. Let them see what happens when they resist the Varaxian Empire." His officers moved quickly to obey. From the bottom of the mothership, a massive weapon began to extend. It glowed with dark energy as it powered up. The planet cracker was the Varaxians' most feared weapon, capable of creating earthquakes and tsunamis that could devastate an entire continent. On Earth, sensors detected the new threat immediately. Admiral Jack Murphy called an emergency meeting of the Defense Command. "They're deploying their primary weapon," he said grimly. "Our intelligence from the Arcturus Collective was correct. The Varaxians use a gravitational disruption device when conventional attacks fail." Dr. Nathan Russell, lead scientist at the Reverse Engineering Division, stepped forward. He was a quiet man who had dedicated the last 8 years to studying alien technology. "We're ready for this, Admiral. After analyzing debris from the Arcturus ships, we developed a countermeasure." He touched a control panel, bringing up images of 6 satellites positioned around Earth. These satellites can generate a protective field that will absorb and redirect the gravitational energy. "We've only tested it in simulations, but the math is sound." Admiral Murphy nodded. "Activate the system, and may God help us if it doesn't work." In orbit, the battle continued. Captain Aaron Foster's Defiant had disabled 3 enemy vessels and was now targeting a 4th. His ship moved with impossible speed, its hybrid engines pushing beyond normal limits. "Captain," Communications Officer Michelle Garcia called out. Colonel Phillips' team has successfully infiltrated the enemy command vessel. They're transmitting. Data now. Aaron smiled. Excellent. Forward everything to Earth Defense Command immediately. Colonel Heather Phillips and her team moved silently through the corridors of the Varaxian mothership. Their adaptive camouflage suits, developed after the Proxima Centauri conflict 5 years ago, made them nearly invisible. Tech specialist Alan Rodriguez worked on a captured terminal while demolitions expert Keith Bennett set charges at key junction points. I've accessed their navigation database, Alan whispered over the secure team channel. Downloading their star charts and jump coordinates now. This gives us the location of every Varaxian world. Heather nodded. Good. Bennett, how much longer for the charges? 3 minutes, Colonel. These will disable their internal communications without damaging critical systems. We want to capture this ship, not destroy it. Outside, the Varaxian planet cracker had fully deployed. Its energy readings were off the charts as it aimed at the Atlantic Ocean. Earth seemed defenseless against such a powerful weapon. In the Geneva lab, Dr. Karen Lawson watched the data from the captured communication module with growing excitement. We've cracked their command codes, she told her team, sending them to all Earth vessels now. With these codes, human ships could now identify themselves as friendly to Varaxian automated systems. It wouldn't fool their commanders, but it would confuse their targeting computers. The planet cracker fired. A beam of dark energy shot toward Earth, powerful enough to disturb the planet's crust and trigger catastrophic natural disasters. Supreme, Commander Zexkalter watched with satisfaction. No civilization had ever withstood this weapon, but as the energy approached Earth, the 6 defensive satellites activated. They generated a translucent shield that caught the beam, absorbing its power. For a tense moment, the shield flickered, threatening to collapse. Then it stabilized, channeling the energy around the planet and harmlessly into space. On the mothership's bridge, Sub-Commander Trevnoral couldn't believe what he was seeing. Impossible. They've neutralized the planet cracker. Zexkalter smashed his fist against his command chair. How can primitives possess such technology? The Council assured me this world was an easy conquest. At that moment, alarms blared across the bridge. Internal communications went dead, and security systems began to fail. The charges set by Colonel Phillips's team had detonated. In Earth Defense Headquarters, General Frank Daniels received the signal he'd been waiting for. The mothership's internal systems are compromised. Colonel Phillips's team has succeeded. Implement protocol Trojan Horse. Across the battlefield, Earth vessels suddenly changed tactics. Instead of attacking all Varaxian ships, they focused. Fire on specific sectors, creating what appeared to be weaknesses in Earth's defense. It was a carefully crafted illusion designed to lure the enemy into a trap. President Diane Powell addressed the emergency session of the United Nations. Representatives from every nation watched as she explained the current situation. The Varaxians have deployed their ultimate weapon, and we have successfully defended against it, she said calmly. Now we move to Phase 3 of our defense plan. For the first time, we will not merely repel an alien invasion. We will capture their technology, intact, and advance our own capabilities. In cities around the world, civilians in shelters received updates on the battle. Unlike the fear that had gripped humanity during the first invasion, there was now a sense of determined confidence. Each attack had made Earth stronger, more united. The battlefield, Varaxian ships noticed apparent gaps in Earth's defenses. Following standard military doctrine, they moved to exploit these weaknesses, concentrating their forces on what seemed to be vulnerable sectors. They're taking the bait, Lieutenant Commander Ben Wilson reported from the Sentinel. Moving exactly where we want them. Commander Ethan Riley nodded. All ships hold position. Let them fully commit to the trap. The remaining Varaxian vessels, about 30 in total, advanced toward Earth's seemingly weakened defenses. They didn't realize they were being herded into killing zones where Earth's most powerful weapons waited. On the mothership, Colonel Phillips and her team reached the engineering section. We've located their main power core, she reported to Earth Command. Preparing to implement the capture protocol. Alan Rodriguez connected a specialized device to the alien power systems. The device created by Dr. Russell's team would allow them to override safety protocols and shut down the mothership without destroying it. "Device is active," Alan reported. "Remote shutdown ready on your command, Colonel." In the Geneva lab, Dr. Karen Lawson received the final pieces of data from the infiltration team. With this information, Earth now possessed the complete technical specifications of Varaxian technology. "We've got it all," she said to her assistant with a smile of satisfaction. "Their weapons, their shields, their FTL drive systems. With this will advance our technology by at least 50 years. Admiral Murphy addressed the combined Earth forces. "All vessels prepare for final phase. The tide has turned. Today we don't just survive, we win." As Earth's trap closed around the remaining Varaxian ships, Supreme Commander Zexacalter finally realized the terrible truth. His mighty empire had not found an easy conquest. They had found humanity, a species forged in the fire of multiple alien invasions, each one making them stronger than before. The Varaxian fleet was in complete disarray. Their mothership's internal systems were compromised, their planet cracker weapon had failed, and their smaller vessels were being systematically disabled by Earth's defense forces. For the first time in their 1,000-year history of conquest, the Varaxians faced defeat. In the mothership's engineering section, Colonel Heather Phillips gave the order, "Execute remote shutdown now." Alan Rodriguez activated the device connected to the alien power core. Lights flickered across the massive ship as systems began to power down. Emergency backups kicked in, but they only provided enough energy for life support and basic functions. "Control Center, this is Phillips. The mothership is neutralized, requesting extraction teams to secure the vessel." On the bridge, Supreme Commander Zexacaltar watched in horror as his ship's systems failed one by one. The holographic displays vanished, weapons went offline, and even the artificial gravity became unstable. "What is happening?" he demanded, his voice rising with panic. Sub-Commander Trevor checked the last functioning console. "Someone has accessed our main power systems. We're being shut down remotely." He looked up at his commander, mandibles quivering with fear. "This technology, it's beyond what primitives should possess." Zexacaltar realized the terrible truth. "We've been deceived. The Council, they sent us into a trap." Outside, Captain Aaron Foster's Defiant led a squadron of Earth vessels toward the disabled mothership. His crew had fought with distinction throughout the battle, and now they would claim the ultimate prize. "All ships, maintain formation," Aaron ordered. "Prepare boarding teams. Remember, we want this ship intact." In Earth Defense Headquarters, Admiral Jack Murphy watched the operation unfold on the main display. Beside him, General Frank Daniels coordinated the ground forces that were mopping up the few Varaxian ships that had reached the surface. "Sir," a communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the Varaxian homeworld. They're demanding to know what's happening to their invasion fleet." Admiral Murphy smiled grimly. "Don't respond yet. Let them wonder for a while longer." Dr. Diana Wells entered the command center, carrying a tablet with her latest findings. As head of the Xenological Intelligence Division, she had been studying patterns in alien invasions for years. "Admiral, we've finished analyzing the data from Colonel Phillips's team," she said. "I think we finally understand why Earth has been targeted so frequently." She displayed a star chart showing Earth's position relative to several alien civilizations. The Varaxians didn't choose Earth randomly. According to their communication logs, they were specifically directed here by the Galactic Council. Admiral Murphy frowned. "The same council mentioned by the Proxima Centauri forces?" Diana nodded. "Yes. It appears that older spacefaring civilizations have been using Earth as a testing ground for younger aggressive species. They direct these species toward us, knowing they'll likely be defeated." "Why would they do that?" General Daniels asked. "To eliminate potential competitors without violating their own non-aggression pacts," Diana explained. "Earth is classified as an easy target in their databases, but the reality is quite different. Each species that attacks us is either destroyed or so weakened that they no longer pose a threat to the established powers. The implications sent ripples of shock through the command center. Earth hadn't just been defending itself. It had been an unwitting pawn in a galactic power game. Lieutenant Commander Paul Robinson sat at the helm of Earth's newest vessel, the Retribution. Unlike other ships in the fleet, the Retribution had been built entirely from captured alien technology. It moved in ways no conventional spacecraft could match, using a propulsion system salvaged from the fourth invasion attempt. The remaining enemy vessels are retreating toward Mars orbit, his tactical officer reported. They appear to be regrouping for a final stand. Paul studied the tactical display. Inform Captain Foster will handle this group. It's time to show what this ship can really do. The Retribution accelerated at impossible speeds, its hybrid shields easily absorbing enemy fire. Within minutes, it had surrounded the remaining Varaxian ships. Open a channel, Paul ordered. Let's see if they want to surrender before we disable them. On the Varaxian mothership, Earth's boarding teams moved systematically through the corridors, securing sections and capturing the alien crew. Colonel Phillips led her team to the bridge where Supreme Commander Zex Keltar waited. "Who are you?" the alien commander demanded, as humans in advanced combat suits surrounded him. "How does your world possess such technology?" Heather removed, her helmet revealing her face to the alien. "I am Colonel Heather Phillips, Earth Special Operations. And to answer your second question, we learned from those who came before you." In Geneva, Dr. Karen Lawson's team worked furiously to decode the complete Varaxian database. Each minute brought new revelations about alien technology, star maps, and the politics of galactic civilization. "This is incredible," Karen said, examining the data. "According to these records, the Varaxians have conquered over 300 worlds, but none of them had our advantages." Her assistant looked up. "What advantages?" "Experience," Karen said simply. "Each invasion taught us something new. We adapted, incorporated their technology into our own. The first aliens who attacked us 10 years ago thought they were facing a primitive world. Instead, they became our unwitting teachers. On Earth's surface, the cleanup had already begun. Teams of scientists and engineers examined downed Varaxian ships, carefully preserving everything for study. Unlike previous invasions where much had been destroyed in the fighting, this time humanity had captured most of the alien technology intact. In Washington, D.C., President Diane Powell prepared to address the world. The invasion had been repelled with minimal civilian casualties, a testament to how far Earth's defenses had come. "Today marks a turning point," she told her advisors. "For the first time, we're not just survivors. We're victors, and it's time to let the galaxy know that Earth is no longer an easy target." In orbit, the Retribution had successfully captured the remaining Varaxian vessels. Lieutenant Commander Paul Robinson reported back to Earth Command. "All enemy ships secured, Admiral. No more resistance." Admiral Murphy nodded with satisfaction. "Excellent work. Bring the Varaxian commander to Earth. It's time we had a direct conversation with one of these invaders." Intelligence Officer Samantha Boyd had been interrogating captured Varaxian officers for hours. Finally, one of them revealed the devastating truth. "Your world was classified as an acquisition target by the Galactic Council," the alien admitted. "They told us you were primitive, defenseless." "And did they mention what happened to the 6 other species who attacked us?" Samantha asked. The alien's compound eyes widened. 6? "We were told there had been no previous contact with your world." Samantha smiled coldly. "Exactly. No one who attacks Earth ever returns to tell about it. Until now." As night fell across the planet, humanity celebrated not just another victory, but a new understanding of their place in the galaxy. Earth was no longer just a target. It was becoming a power to be reckoned with, forged in the crucible of repeated invasions. The final battle took place near Jupiter's orbit. The few remaining Varaxian ships cut off from their mothership and leadership launched a desperate last attack. It was the dying gasp of an invasion force that had expected an easy victory and found instead a prepared and capable enemy. Earth's combined fleet moved with precision and overwhelming force. Ships incorporating technology from 6 different alien species surrounded the Varaxians, cutting off any escape route. Admiral Jack Murphy broadcast on all frequencies, including the alien communication bands. Attention Varaxian vessels. This is Admiral Murphy of Earth Defense Command. Your mothership has been captured. Your supreme commander is in our custody. You have 2 choices: surrender unconditionally or be destroyed. You have 5 minutes to decide. On the bridge of the Sentinel, Commander Ethan Riley watched the enemy ships on his display. His crew waited tensely for the Varaxian response. "Do you think they'll surrender, sir?" Lieutenant Olivia Patterson asked quietly. "They've never had to before," Ethan replied. "But they've never faced a situation like this either." 4 minutes passed in silence. Then a transmission came through on the emergency channel. "Earth vessels, this is Battle Commander Vrex of the remaining Varaxian forces. We request terms of surrender." A cheer went up across Earth's fleet. For the first time in recorded history, a Varaxian force had surrendered rather than fight to the death. In Washington, D.C., the White House Situation Room erupted in applause as the news came through. President Diane Powell closed her eyes briefly, in relief. The battle was over. Earth had won. "Prepare for the arrival of the Varaxian commander," she instructed her staff. "We'll hold the formal surrender ceremony at the United Nations. The world needs to witness this historic moment." 2 days later, in a heavily guarded convoy, Supreme Commander Zex Kaltar was escorted to the United Nations headquarters in New York. The alien leader, once proud and confident, now moved with the stunned disbelief of someone whose entire worldview had been shattered. The General Assembly Hall was filled to capacity. Representatives from every nation on Earth watched as the Varaxian commander was brought to the central podium. President Powell stood waiting, along with Admiral Murphy and other military leaders. Supreme Commander Zex Kaltar of the Varaxian Empire, President Powell began, her voice carrying across the silent hall. "You came to our world with the intention of conquest. You found instead a unified people prepared to defend themselves. Today you will sign the formal surrender of your forces, and then you will be returned to your homeworld with a message." The alien commander's compound eyes blinked rapidly, a sign of confusion in his species. "Returned? You are letting us go?" Admiral Murphy stepped forward. "Unlike your empire, we do not destroy those who surrender. You and your surviving crew will be taken home aboard one of our vessels. You will explain to your leaders exactly what happened here." Dr. Diana Wells approached with a data device. "This contains records of all 6 previous invasion attempts on Earth and the outcome of each one. Your leaders will understand why no one returns from attacking Earth." In Geneva, Dr. Karen Lawson and her team had worked around the clock to prepare Earth's first true interstellar diplomatic vessel. Named the Deterrent, it combined the best elements of all captured alien technology. Its primary mission: deliver the captured Varaxians home, along with Earth's message to the galaxy. Dr. Lawson walked through the ship's gleaming corridors with pride. "From defenders to explorers," she said to her assistant. "Each invasion pushed our technology forward by decades. Now we're ready to take our place among the stars." Colonel Heather Phillips had been selected to command the Deterrent on its maiden voyage. Her experience with alien encounters made her the perfect choice to lead Earth's first diplomatic mission. "The ship is ready," she reported to Admiral Murphy during the final inspection. "We can reach the Varaxian homeworld in just under 3 weeks using their own FTL drive system." "And if they try to capture you once you arrive?" the Admiral asked. Heather smiled confidently. "They won't succeed. Besides the captured Varaxian technology, we've integrated defensive systems from 5 other alien species. Nothing in their fleet can match us." The day of departure arrived. The Deterrent sat on its launch pad surrounded by thousands of spectators. Inside, Colonel Phillips and her crew made final preparations while the Varaxian prisoners were secured in special quarters. President Powell delivered a brief speech to the watching world. "Today marks the beginning of a new era for humanity. No longer will we simply wait for threats to find us. We will take our message to the stars. Earth is not an easy target. Earth is not a testing ground for would-be conquerors. Earth is humanity's home, and we will defend it with all our strength and ingenuity. As the deterrent lifted off, people around the world watched with pride and hope. For the first time, humans were venturing beyond their solar system not as refugees or victims, but as equals to any spacefaring race. In his secured quarters, Supreme Commander Zex Kaltar watched through a viewport as Earth receded behind them. A human guard stood nearby, Sergeant Ryan Cooper, selected for his calm demeanor and experience with alien prisoners. "I don't understand," Zex Kaltar said suddenly. "We've conquered hundreds of worlds. None had your level of technology or preparation. How is this possible?" Ryan considered the question before answering. "Each invasion taught us something new. The first aliens who came showed us we weren't alone and that we needed to prepare. The second showed us how to adapt their shield technology. The third gave us faster engines. The fourth, better weapons. The fifth, advanced communication systems. The sixth, improved power sources. And now your people have given us FTL travel capability." The alien commander's mandibles clicked in agitation. "We were deceived. The Galactic Council told us Earth was primitive, defenseless. And now you know the truth," Ryan replied. "Now you can tell your leaders in the Council, every species that attacks Earth makes us stronger." As the deterrent activated its FTL drive, jumping toward the Varaxian home system, Colonel Phillips recorded her first official log. Day 1 of Earth's first diplomatic mission. Our primary objective: deliver our prisoners home safely and establish clear communication with the Varaxian Empire and, if possible, this Galactic Council. Our secondary objective: ensure the galaxy understands that Earth is no longer an isolated world to be targeted with impunity. 3 weeks later, the deterrent arrived at the Varaxian homeworld. The massive planet, covered in gleaming cities, had never seen a human vessel before. As expected, a defensive fleet moved to intercept them. Colonel Phillips opened communications. "Varaxian Defense Fleet, this is Colonel Heather Phillips of Earth. We are returning your invasion force commander and survivors as a gesture of good faith. We come with a message from our world to yours." On the bridge, Zex Kaltar stood flanked by human guards. He spoke to his people for the first time since his defeat. "The humans speak the truth. They defeated our forces completely, yet they offer peace. Listen to them. I have learned why no one returns from attacking Earth. The human vessel, carrying representatives from Earth along with a comprehensive record of all previous invasion attempts and their outcomes, was escorted to the Varaxian capital. The message they carried would soon spread throughout the galaxy. Earth was no longer classified as a target. It was now classified as a power. The Varaxian ships broke through the upper atmosphere, their hulls glowing red-hot from the entry. They expected to face primitive defense systems and minimal resistance. Instead, they flew straight into a carefully prepared trap. Captain Aaron Foster sat in the command chair of the Defiant, hidden in Earth's shadow. His crew worked with quiet efficiency. Tactical Officer Susan Kelly monitored the enemy formation, while weapons specialist Greg Martinez kept his finger hovering above the firing controls. "They've taken the bait," Susan said, looking up from her screen. 73 ships are following, the exact path we predicted." Aaron nodded. His ship represented humanity's best defense, a vessel built using technology from 3 different alien species that had previously attempted to conquer Earth. The Defiant didn't just match alien technology. In many ways, it surpassed it. "All ships maintain position," Aaron ordered through the secure communications channel. "Let them get fully committed to the attack." Across the globe, civilians moved quickly into underground shelters. Unlike the panic of the first invasion 10 years ago, today's evacuation was orderly and practiced. Children followed their teachers, while adults helped the elderly. Within 30 minutes of the alarm, major cities appeared deserted. Beneath New York City, Dr. Megan Rivera checked the systems in her medical bunker. After the second alien invasion, humanity had learned to prepare for casualties. Her facility could handle thousands of wounded if necessary. All supplies accounted for, her assistant reported. Extra blood supply and nano-regenerators are ready. Let's hope we don't need them, Megan replied, but she knew better than to expect an easy victory. Each alien encounter had taught humanity painful lessons. In Earth orbit, the first wave of Varaxian ships fired energy weapons at what appeared to be Earth's primary defense platforms. Their purple beams cut through several satellites, causing explosions that lit up the sky. On the Varaxian mothership, Supreme Commander Zexicaltar watched with satisfaction. First targets eliminated. Move to Phase 2. Neutralize their military bases. Supreme Commander, Sub-Commander Trev Norrell interrupted. Something is wrong. The defense platforms we destroyed, they're not emitting any energy signatures. Before Zexicaltar could respond, alarm signals blared across the bridge. From behind Earth's moon, dozens of human vessels appeared, moving with impossible speed. Impossible, Zexicaltar hissed. The intelligence report said these humans had only basic space capability. On the Defiant, Captain Aaron Foster gave the order all of Earth had been waiting for. All ships, weapons free. Execute defense plan. Delta. Earth's true defense grid activated. Hidden platforms emerged from beneath ocean surfaces. Mountain ranges opened to reveal massive energy cannons. And in orbit, the Earth Defense Fleet moved into attack position. Commander Ethan Riley, on the Sentinel, targeted the largest group of enemy ships. Target locked, firing main batteries. The Sentinel's weapons fired brilliant blue beams, technology reverse-engineered from the third alien species to attack Earth. The beams punched through the Varaxian shields as if they weren't there, in Neo. Her laboratory, Dr. Karen Lawson, monitored the battle from screens showing real-time data. The shield disruptors are working perfectly, she said to her team. Their defensive technology is similar to the Arcturus collectives. Just as we predicted. The Varaxians found themselves in chaos. Their ships, designed to attack rather than defend, were falling quickly to Earth's advanced weapons. Of the E-73 attack vessels, 20 were already disabled or destroyed. On the Defiant, Chief Engineer Olivia Patterson reported from the engine room. Captain, the hybrid drive is handling better than expected. We can push it another 15% if needed. Do it, Aaron ordered. Bring us alongside their command vessel. The Defiant accelerated, moving faster than any Varaxian ship could match. Its hull, made from materials salvaged from previous alien wrecks, easily absorbed enemy fire. In the White House Situation Room, President Diane Powell watched the battle unfold on large screens. Military advisors provided updates while global leaders joined via secure channels. The enemy didn't expect our level of preparation, General Frank Daniels explained. They came with a force designed to subdue a primitive world. And instead they found us, the president said quietly. After witnessing previous invasions, she had overseen the largest military buildup in human history. Resources that once went to fighting each other had been redirected to defending Earth from the stars. In orbit, the battle intensified. The Varaxians, recovering from their initial shock, began to adapt their tactics. Their remaining ships formed defensive clusters, combining their shields for greater protection. Their regrouping, Susan Kelly reported on the Defiant, forming 3 distinct battle groups. Captain Aaron Foster smiled slightly. Just as Colonel Phillips predicted, inform special operations that Phase 2 can begin. Across Earth's orbit, 12 small, nearly invisible ships detached from larger vessels. Each carried a team of special operations soldiers led by experienced officers. Their mission, board and capture enemy vessels. Colonel Heather Phillips led the primary team. Her stealth ship approached a damaged Varaxian vessel that had fallen behind the others. Her team of 6 wore advanced combat suits developed after studying alien materials. Remember the objective, she told her team over the secure channel. We need their navigation data and communication codes intact. Disable, don't destroy their systems. The stealth ship attached to the Varaxian vessel's hull. Using cutting tools based on alien technology, they created an entry point and moved inside. Meanwhile, the Varaxian mothership began launching its second wave of attack ships. Supreme Commander Zex Kaltar was furious, but determined. "Deploy all remaining vessels," he ordered. "Target their population centers directly. These humans must learn their place." Subcommander Trev Norrell looked concerned. "But Supreme Commander, our intelligence was clearly wrong. They have technology from multiple star systems. We should retreat and report to the Council." "Retreat?" Zex Kaltar's voice was dangerous. "The Varaxian Empire does not retreat. In 3 centuries of expansion, we have never failed to conquer a target world." On Earth's surface, the first Varaxian ships that made it through the orbital defenses encountered ground-based weapons. As they approached Chicago, energy beams shot upward from concealed positions, tearing through alien hulls. In the city's Defense Control Center, Lieutenant Carol Hayes coordinated the response. Screens showed enemy positions while her team directed. "Fire from dozens of weapon platforms. Keep them away from the evacuation zones," she ordered. "Concentration of fire on targets Alpha through Delta." The battle continued in space and atmosphere. Though the Varaxians fought with determination, they faced an enemy unlike any they had encountered before, a species that had been tested by fire 6 times and emerged stronger each time. In her lab, Dr. Karen Lawson received the first pieces of captured Varaxian technology, brought back by one of Colonel Phillips's teams. She examined the alien devices with practiced eyes. "This is exactly what we needed," she said, studying a communication module. "With this, we can listen to everything they say. Get it to decryption immediately." The tide of battle had clearly turned. What the Varaxians had expected to be a simple conquest had become a fight for survival. And deep in space, other alien observers watched with growing concern as yet another invasion force faced the unexpected might of Earth.